Welcome to Hello Self. It's a podcast focused on turning your can'ts into cans and your dreams into plans. I am your host, coach, and author, Patricia Leonard. Hello there. I am Patricia Leonard, and I am your host for Hello Self podcast. If you remember, if you've listened before, the podcast is really all about turning your can'ts into cans and your dreams into plans. The mission is to get your dreams and goals off that someday shelf and start living your life now. For the last 3 or 4 weeks, my focus has been on relationships. Specifically, relationships regarding the law of attraction. I started out thinking that I was doing this for others to help them understand more about relationships and navigating a healthy, functional relationship. Just like I have experienced when I've written my books, I always think I'm writing it for someone else. And then in the end, when I look back, I'm thinking, this book is about me. The podcast is the same thing that I'm learning. That I took this on because a lot of my clients and friends were talking about relationships, and I hadn't been in one for a long time. So I thought, boy, I'll probably really be able to help them. So it's been really interesting because I've done a lot of research, but the thing that really triggered my getting started, and if you remember, if you've listened to the podcast, the very first one was an attraction that I couldn't understand. And so I wanted to know more about what did that mean for me and why was I having that experience. So anyway, it led me to doing more and more research because what I found out is the more I researched, the less I knew. Oh, I think that's probably the same with most of us. But anyway, this podcast, the last one was about, is attraction love? And so we talked a little bit more about professionals have said and my own experience. And it led then to the next thing that we're going to do today on number 4 in the series of law of attraction relationships. And I want to tap on to types of compatibility and signs of compatibility. Because as I noted in the first podcast, people are attracted to each other, but often do not know why. If they're asked, why were you attracted? And really, they can't explain it. Are you compatible? Have you found some signs of things? And often they couldn't explain it, and neither have I been able to. So what I did was some research, and the research said that most people do not understand the topic of compatibility in a relationship, even though we might have it in our head to really experience it. So as we focus on and think about relationships, we can find the value and become aware of the why and what of healthy relationships by understanding a little bit more. I'm at the point in my life where I want to experience what is a healthy relationship, because I've been in some that, just like most of us, I think, whether it was a marriage or whether it was in corporate America or whether it was in a group that you were part of, a lot of times it's about the compatibility and not having common values or seeing the world different. We all have grown up in the systems today that tell us, be this way, be that way. You're a woman, you're a man, you're a professional, act like this. And so we have diluted who we are so much that we don't even know what we're attracted to anymore because we've become biased. We've become opinionated. Me too. I'm saying this about me because I can vouch. I'm learning more about me than I probably will ever learn about anybody else. So I said I wanted to hit on the compatibility thing. These signs of compatibility that we're going to be talking about today can help couples build a healthy and fulfilling relationship. However, it's important to remember that every relationship is unique and there is nothing perfect. We might think, oh boy, we're going to make this a perfect relationship. No, you're going to find things along the way. And I'm experiencing that myself as I open up more to relationships. There's things along the way that we don't see eye to eye on. And it doesn't mean we don't see eye to eye. We can't get to the conversations that help us see eye to eye, whether it's in an organization you're part of or a church group or a political affiliation or your work environment or your partnerships with your partner, your friendships and family members. It's just like every aspect of it's not work, but it's beginning to understand and know the signs and not get lost in what's not happening and what could happening. So your relationship does not have to hit all of these marks. What I'm sharing today is some ideas that you can then quickly run through and see where are we, and maybe even have a conversation with your spouse or your friend or a significant other or family or children, because yes, I'm talking about the law of attraction in relationships, specifically between two adults. However, it doesn't matter because in school, my son came home and would say things about, oh my gosh, mom. So compatibility is really important. Your relationship does not have to hit all of these, as I said. For this, you can have an honest conversation. And this is what it's about, is giving us a starting point for an honest conversation with your partner or with someone that you're having this conversation with. Keep your relationship happy, healthy, and strong. Doesn't mean that everything we're going to agree on, but when we know how to navigate a healthy relationship and see some of the signs, then we can start to make changes and look at ourselves. Because that's what I'm doing right now, is looking at myself and saying, Patricia, you're learning again. It doesn't matter how old you are. You're learning. And every opportunity is out there in every environment. Does you go to the grocery store and anybody ever tick you off just who they are or what they say? Or you see what I'm saying? And that's not the kind of relationship that I'm talking, but it is a relationship because it's triggering something in you, and that should help you learn about who you are. When we've had past experiences in relationships, we often bring that along. And then we start to doubt and distrust the person that we're with now. They're going to be that way too. That's the way all women are. That's the way all men are. Or that's the way all from India are. Or that's the way all from the Black culture are. We don't care. We always make excuses and pretend, oh no, that's not me. I'm telling you, I'm learning about myself. And you know what I want to learn? I want my partner or my friend to say, what did you mean by that? Actually, I didn't mean anything, but it meant something to them. So we have to take the time to have the conversation and explain, because if we just run off, we'll never experience love or a healthy partnership. We won't. Let me tell you, I know, because that's what I've been doing my whole life. Some things along the way in my life didn't make me real happy in trusting the opposite sex. And so what I did is I just shut the door. And that didn't make me happy either. As a matter of fact, I want more. And it doesn't mean it's going to be perfect. I remember some friends of oh my goodness, they had been married a long time, but they're from another state, and they would call me every once in a while and say, "Patricia, we need you to come up and help us. We're going through this argument on something, and we're not finding any middle ground." So, as an outsider or a coach, which I am, and a consultant, I can say things, and I got the permission up front. May I say this when I see this? And they said yes. So they would take it from me, but not from their partner or their person that they were involved with at that time. So we would laugh at each other afterwards, but it really was something that we needed. Sometimes we may need to ask a third party to come in and be honest with us. And not a counselor necessarily. It's okay if you go to a counselor, but it can sometimes be your best friend that knows you. Importance of relationship compatibility. I want to hit on that. Why is compatibility important in a relationship? And these are things that I have experienced some of this, but this is research that I've been doing. The importance of compatibility cannot be overstated. And I'm finding that out right now as I'm learning in a new relationship. It is the foundation upon which healthy and fulfilling relationships are built. When two people share common values, interests, and communication styles, they're better equipped to navigate challenges and conflicts in a constructive manner, not a manner where we get angry and don't talk for days or go away and don't see each other anymore. I don't want that anymore. I've lived that, and I don't want it. Compatibility also fosters a sense of emotional connection and trust, which is essential for strong and long-lasting bonds. Ultimately, being compatible with your partner can enhance your happiness, your satisfaction, and your overall well-being in life. Because when things aren't good with your partner, you know how you feel. Nothing becomes good. It's just like you want to run away. Okay, let's get started on looking at some of these things that I have found in my research and in my own living now recently. Now that we have discussed what relationship compatibility is, let's look at some of the types. There are several types of compatibility, and I think this is what's helping me. The more I see these kind of things in front of me, not something that's invisible out there and I've named it something else all my life, or it's just his attitude or her attitude. I've always blamed something. There are several types of compatibility that contribute to a healthy and fulfilling relationship. These are, let's look at some. Emotional compatibility. Now, what is that? How to determine compatibility in a relationship? Look for a strong emotional connection. Are you really in tune with the other person? This refers to the ability of two people to connect emotionally. And that doesn't always mean just because you can connect emotionally that everything else is going okay, because we still have those sharp words we say or those cryptic sentences you write each other. And emotional compatibility. This refers to the ability of two people to connect emotionally and understand each other's feelings. Very important. Because Most of us in life carry our emotions on our sleeves or shoulders, whatever you want to say. Whether we're in corporate America, in a business meeting, or playing sports. I've been a jock all my life. And you know that there are some things that trigger your emotions. Emotional compatibility involves having similar emotional needs, expressing, like I like to talk it through, get it out on the table. A lot of my partners don't want to say a thing. They just go off, and this is what I've experienced. And I'm trying to learn, what do I do that does that? Or do I do anything? Is it just a pattern that we've developed over life? Receiving love in a similar way, expressing and receiving love in a similar way, and being able to communicate effectively about emotions. If somebody hurts my feelings, I want to be able to say that comment didn't feel good. And I do say it. But I don't want to. I've worked hard at getting honest with myself and with my partner and with my friends and with my, and for most part, we're beginning to accept each other and take, my family too. Oh, that's just Patricia being Patricia. No, I don't want to be accepted like that. I want you to be able to say without getting angry, because that doesn't resolve anything, but be able to say, Patricia, what did you mean by that? That hurt my feelings. And then give me a chance. And then we have to trust that what the person is telling us is from their heart. But that's what emotional compatibility is about, is beginning to trust that. And the more we practice it, the more we'll trust each other. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have the best relationship after all this. I may even write a book. I've said that before. Intellectual. Another one is intellectual compatibility. This type of compatibility refers to the shared interest, value, and world views of the two people involved. It involves having similar intellectual curiosity, and I am curious about everything. Everything. I want to know more. I didn't come to this planet to slide by and not dig in, because when I leave, I want to say, you did it all, Patricia. Maybe not everything in life, but you did what you said you were going to do. You went after it because I wanted to learn. I'm not going to sit back because I'm afraid or because it may not work out that way. I know I've said this in other podcasts, but I love Garth Brooks' song. I'd rather make the decision. I'd rather have the pain than to have missed the dance. Yes, there will be some bumps and distractions and things along the way that hurt a little, but I don't want to miss the dance. I want to do it all. It involves having similar intellectual, and I said that, and respecting each other's beliefs and opinions. So we may not see eye to eye, but at least we will look a person in the eye and begin to understand. I hear what you're saying. We could use this in Congress right now, couldn't we? Oh my goodness, I've never seen you talk about two kids playing. That's 90% of what goes on there. My dad's tougher than your dad. But anyway, intellectual compatibility. And I like a person that likes to learn. And I'm going to support them. I'm going to do everything I can to help them find what they're looking for. I just met a couple of young ladies at an event here in town, a film event, and we have developed such great relationships. And they said, Patricia, we want you to coach us. We want you to help us along the way. And I see so much value in them And it's just pulling out their confidence. And that's what we can do in a relationship. The more we value the other person, the more we can pull out and maximize who they really are, because most people don't know. Sexual compatibility, another one. How to assess sexual or compatibility in a relationship. Look for compatibility while being intimate. Is there any compatibility going on? Sexual compatibility is an important aspect of a romantic relationship. And you know what? I'm trying to learn how to do that, how to be more than just have sex. I want feeling. I want nurturing in a way. It's not just two people having sex. For me, it's two people enjoying and a fulfilling night or moment, or even talking about it. That made me feel good. Thank you. When you rub my leg or whatever, not just a slam bam, thank you, man. That's what we always joke about. But it's not that. It's much more. Emotions are triggered by touch, just like babies. They say when babies are born, the thing that really energizes them and helps them to take the next breath is the human touch. And that is true for me. I'm a hugger from way back. These include this romantic relationship compatibility and in the fulfilling sexual relationship. This includes factors such as sexual attraction. It doesn't mean that we have to be beauty queens. It doesn't mean that we can't have a body that's out of shape on this side or out of shape. That's not what it's about for me. It is about appreciating the other person emotionally, physically, mentally, and just the fact of being with them. How do you make me feel? How do you make me feel? Turning over in bed and hugging me. Doesn't have to be sexual. Touching me. Libido. The factors such as sexual attraction, libido. Some days we have it and some days we don't. Sexual preferences. What is it you prefer? It takes a while to start talking about that. However, it doesn't have to. If you first connect on the emotional level and the intellectual level, because we begin to know people right away. And openness to experimentation. That is me. I want to try. I don't want the same old. No, but you know what? I know I'm getting a little silly here, but make it fun, make it intriguing, make it interesting. Not the same old, same old. And that's what happens, I believe, in relationships. We either don't do it, the libido's totally gone, or the attraction. And like I said, that does not have to be a physical attraction. It might be a physical attraction because somebody might like a skinny girl. Somebody might like a full-figured girl. Somebody might like to have a woman with big boobs. Some woman might like to have a guy with endowed, or some guy that's very gentle. There's all kinds, but I think we only know that when we start talking about it. Lifestyle compatibility is another area. How to know if you're compatible with someone. See if you share similar lifestyle choices. Are you interested in the arts? I'm attracted to somebody that's interested in the arts. Now, that's not the only thing, because I like sports too. So I like somebody that likes to go to New York to see shows or go to TPAC here in town. I volunteer at TPAC all the time because I like the arts. I think the arts are a fabulous way to express. What if with your partner, you drew on your partner's leg or something, an artistic I don't know. There's all kinds of ways that you can play and take it out of a humdrum kind of lifestyle. And okay, tonight's the night. Let's get it over with because I got to go to work tomorrow. Oh no, been there, done that. I ain't doing it no more. Okay, this is lifestyle compatibility. This refers to the compatibility of two individuals' lifestyles, including their habits, routines, and goals. I like somebody that is goal oriented, that has some kind of journey that they're on, some kind of mission, something that they're like my brother. I love one of the things that he's doing. He is refurbishing an old car. It's his mission. And he's let her sit out in the garage with all the junk for years. And I just recently wrote a book. I've got to finish it too, but it's about old Yeller and the relationship that my brother has with that car. It's not about sexual, but it makes him a more rounded person because he has some interest other than just watching television and eating dinner. Oh my God, and he likes that too. Uh, but communication compatibility is another one and is essential for healthy relationships. And if we can't talk, there ain't no way we're going to walk together. It just won't happen. Been there, done that too. Involves being able to express oneself clearly and respectfully. And that's the key. Can we express ourselves without getting angry at the other person or blaming them? And we have to learn how to listen. I've watched husbands and wives and fathers and sons and mothers, and I've probably done it myself. But you know how you observe more than others than you do yourself. But I've watched them, their child's trying to tell them something, and they often butt in and say, why don't you do this? Or maybe no. And that's what we do in relationships. You know what? I would just kick her to the curb. I would just, yeah, she ain't worth nothing. I knew that before you married. Or he ain't going to amount to a hill of beans. Or you have no interest in getting out of your small community and maybe traveling overseas or to another country or to another state. I've met people that have never gotten out of their own community their whole life. I'm a gypsy. My home doesn't own me, and neither does my partner. Okay, effective communication and being expressive without being unkind, because respect is so important. Being able to listen actively and empathetically. And so if they're going through something, listen. It may not be important to you or it may not amount to a hill of beans as far, oh, what are they talking about that? It's important to them. We don't take time for people anymore. Isn't that sad? Not our children, not our neighbors, not our family, not our spouses, not our lovers, nothing. And where are we going? We're always in a hurry to get things done. We rush and rush until life's no fun. Okay, this is the latter part of it now, is the 10 signs of compatibility in relationships. There are several signs that indicate strong compatibility in a relationship. Here are just 10, and we briefly talked about these in a broader look. This is a more detailed. Shared values. This includes values created for family, spirituality, important to me, very important, and more for me than just religion. I am a spiritual person, physical body, mind, emotion, and soul connected. And I probably relate to my soul connection more than I relate to the people in the world. And the people that get to know me know that. It's like, what are you talking about? I don't know, but I can tell you I like my conversations with God. He tells me more things about all of my books. All my book titles have come through a waking dream that I had. Yeah. Get in touch. I have a book called The Listening and the Knowing that I wrote 2 or 3 years ago. Go to Google or go to Amazon and get it. The Listening and the Knowing. It's learning how to listen to the silent voice that's speaking to you and probably been nudging you for years to do what you should be doing or what you should have done then. But it's okay if you're doing it now. That's me. But listen and watch the nudges and pay attention and don't just discount them because it's God talking to you or whoever your higher self is. Shared values when two people have similar values and beliefs. And the only way you find that out is to talk about it. It's about family, career, spirituality, and other important things in life, like travel, the arts, for me. And I'm learning more things as time goes on because other people are teaching me. I love going to Planet Fitness because the younger people that are in physical fitness there and they manage the front desk, we have the best time. I run in the front door and say, honey, I'm home. And they always say, Miss Leonard, you are our best client because I don't know, I just love life. The next one is respectful communication. And we have hit on that a little bit, but it's basically active listening. And you may say, you've already said all this. It doesn't hurt to hear it twice because we never get it the first time. That's just the way life is. Shared interest. What do you enjoy doing together? I know a couple of couples. Anyway, they go on separate vacations. They never go on vacations together. Now, I'm not saying don't ever go on separate vacations, but her husband doesn't like to go on vacations. He just likes to hang around the house. And so she and a bunch of girlfriends go, I want my partner with me. See how selfish I am? That's a warning sign before you get in a relationship with me. Why did I get together with you if I didn't want to spend my time with you? And it doesn't mean that I'm a smothering kind of relationship, but I'm an inclusive kind of relationship person. That's what I want. Shared interests, and I want to go to New York to Broadway shows. I want to go to other countries. I want to go some of the states. I want to just see some things in Tennessee that I haven't seen yet. The next one, 4, is trust. And if we can't trust one another, then we've already got a problem. Trust with money, trust with decision maker. As a matter of fact, I think that decision making should be made together. That's another conversation. I told you I like conversations, but it's another conversation that we're both on the same page. If you ever follow Dave Ramsey and his financial advice, he talks about that. You both have, even before you get married or get in a solid relationship, you have to. A few years ago, a guy and I, a fellow and I love, and I decided that we were going to live together. We did not get married. My son was small, and I wanted to rear him myself. And so we talked about moving in together. And I was very in favor of that because I really did love this man and worked everything out. I said, here's what you need to do. You pay this much a month and no smoking in the house. I said, but You know what? He was a golf pro, and so he was gone a lot, but my son and I would go with him and we would play golf. But we had common interests. We set our parameters on how we were going to live together, and we had the best relationship. It was, and my son really enjoyed him too. He taught him how to play golf. What are the things that we can add to each other's life? And we've got similar goals and connections. Openness to compromise. Another one that's very important. There will be times when both partners need to compromise. So if things don't work out exactly the way we planned, let's go to plan two. We thought it was going to be this way, but can we at least step back, hunt, and now start it this way? Compatibility involves being open to finding solutions that work for both partners. If it's time away or if it's taking a job, I've done a lot of career coaching of professionals in my life. And I remember one gentleman was in sales and he had two young sons. And he was making a lot of money on the road, a lot. It was very difficult for him to think about this. And I said, what is important to you right now? Your sons are 12 and 14, something like that. I can't remember exact age. And he said, Patricia, I'm missing them playing sports and all this. I'm not at their games. And I said, so what are you going to do? You've been given a chance now by losing your job. And guess what? He did not take a job on the road. And he and his family were so excited. Oh, sure, they enjoyed the financial amount of it. But you know what? Finance, when you go to the grave or when you say, I'm glad I did this, it's probably not going to be all the financial things that you had along the way. It'll be those moments, those experiences. Remember that time when we didn't have a penny, Joe? But we were happy. We went for a walk or a bike ride. Peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's something my son and I did. I think that we put our priorities, the law of attraction tells you, oh, track this money, track that, attract that. Yes. But remember all the details you wanted. I've attracted most of the things that I want in my life, and then some that I didn't want because I forgot to define it clearly. Oh my gosh. Okay, be open to compromise. It ain't my way or the highway. It shouldn't be. You might have fun taking another road. You remember the book, Road Less Traveled? Everybody wants to go down that busy road that's got all the money and got all the luxuries and the two-car garage. You know what? I'll have to say that I came from extreme poverty, but I did get caught in wanting to get that next buck because I wanted my son to have a lot of experiences, and we did. God was good to us. But I remember the corporation I was working for, they were going to promote me to one of the top level jobs right under the CEO in human resources. And I remember saying, can you give me 5 years from now? My son will be out of high school then. And he said to me, you better go home and think about it. And I did. I came back I was a single mom. I came back the next day and I said, we need to have a conversation. And I said, I've made my decision. If I take this job, it'll be a lot of hours and my son will have no guidance. And I need to be here for him. I chose him. And he looked at me, I'll never forget this, and he said, you will never get another promotion in this company. You know what I did? I said, I'm going to start finding a way out of this organization. And that's exactly what I did. I went into consulting and started my own business 5 years later. Yeah. So anyway, we do have choices. And it doesn't have to be our way or the highway, but sometimes we have to stand on solid ground, and yet sometimes we have to compromise. Respect for differences, and this is so important. No two people are exactly the same, and compatibility involves respecting each other's differences. This includes personalities, interests, beliefs. So it's every aspect of life that we're in or that we find ourselves in, and yet respecting that. That's what helps me love almost everybody I run into. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're lesbian. I don't care if you're LBQ, whatever all the letters are. I don't care. I want to see you as a human being. God created you, and I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. I have enough struggle with my own. Okay, and number 9, we're getting there. Shared sense of humor. And I have a sense of humor, but you know what? I know I'm probably get on people's nerves. However, people like to be around me because I'm fun. Nobody wants to be around an old sourpuss or somebody that's always moping. Oh my God, I've got some friends, and the only thing they talk about is, oh, I've got this leg ache, and I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had hip surgery last October, and I told the surgeon, I said, I want to be back in my high heel shoes. Don't do anything that's going to mess me up there. What happened is I've played so many sports in my life. I've just about ruined my body, my knees and my hip. But anyway, I said, I want to get back in my high heel shoes because that's my brand, high heel shoes. And he just laughed and he said, Patricia, my sense is in 10 days, you'll be driving. Guess what I was doing in 10 days? I was driving, and I went to Planet Fitness, and I got on the treadmill, and I said to one of these young people at the front desk, hey, watch me. If I fall, come and pick me. And I never looked back. I never looked back. And I don't know if there's one thing that I want to attract is God's love for me and support of what I need to be doing to live my life fully. What did he plan when he sent me on this planet? And I made a commitment. We all make a commitment. Get my book on the listening and the knowing. So we all make a commitment before we're born, and yet, oh, I know I said that, but I didn't get the money or I didn't get the. No, please, those are no excuses. Somebody's going to love you and help you. Be able to laugh together is an important aspect of compatibility. Laugh at each other. Oh my God. Oh, my family. Oh, that's especially my one brother and his wife. They are constantly laughing at each other and saying, oh my gosh, you drive me crazy. But it's fun to go there because you never know what's going to be next. Yeah. Anyway, the last one. Yeah, I know you're ready, right? Physical attraction. Physical attraction is an important aspect of romantic relationships. When two people are physically attracted to each other, it can create a strong and lasting bond. And as I mentioned earlier, attraction is different. It might be that somebody like me, that I'm always out there having fun. Oh, let's go do that. Or it might be somebody, the physical attraction doesn't always have to be, but some people do like body shape. Some people do. I had a guy the other day say, I like the color of your hair. I'm glad because I color myself. But so you never know. You've got pretty eyes, I've been told before. So people do. And it's not only, I was at the Target the other day and I was trying to find these Wortham lozenges for the crew at my TV show. And I asked this clerk that was there stocking the shelves, And I said, "Do you sell?" She was in the candy area. And she said, "Do you sell?" She said, "No, we don't. The only thing we have is mints." And I didn't want mints. And I went back and I said, "Thank you. You're a very kind person. I really liked your energy." And she said to me, "That's funny that you would say that." She said, "You are beautiful." Now, I think she meant it too. It wasn't just no, it just, and so beauty is different for different people. I like beauty that is kind, not beauty that is stuck on themselves and think, "Oh, I'm a prima donna, blah, blah, blah. And I want to wear another whatever." No, that's not, first of all, I didn't come from, and secondly, it doesn't impress me much. Shania talks about the titles. Who you dress and what you say about yourself doesn't impress me much. I like a man. I like a man that's a man. Sometimes it might drive me crazy, but I really like that. Just be who you are. Quit trying to be somebody else. We all see through it. Yeah. People that have to flaunt themselves and talk about their beauty, and I just did what that lady said. But and that's all they care about, or that's all they seem to care about. After a while, it gets a little boring. Ain't you got anything else to talk about but that fancy dress you bought at some big store, Saks Fifth Avenue? No, I like beautiful things, don't get me wrong. And I like expensive things. I like flashy things. That's me. But it's not to put somebody else down. It's because I like it. So some people might be attracted to that. I like leggings. So I don't know. And I like heels and stuff. But anyway, it doesn't mean I wear tennis shoes too. So I think that the physical attraction is not necessarily the body shape. And, we spend all this money buying boobs and everything else. And we think, oh, the men are going to love me now. But that's not necessarily so because some people, some men and some partners just like, "I like you because you like to go fishing." Or you like to hike. I love to hike. I love to be out of doors, talk to nature, talk to the birds, talk to the bees. You know what? This is awful, isn't it? I'm having fun doing this. Yeah, I'm learning about myself and having fun. I hope you are. But anyway, that's the basics today is the types and signs of compatibility that I wanted to share. And I hope that in some way this triggers some thoughts in you about maybe the kind of relationship you're looking for or the kind of relationship you're in and make that healthier and happier. Now, I'm going to continue all this. I think I'm going to do one more, and I don't know how many more. If the energy hits me, I'll go on. If not, some of you may have said that's enough. But so I want to do my part in creating a healthy, happy world. I believe that a lot of people are just going through the motions in life, in relationships, and in their own life, in their jobs. Don't do that to yourself. This is your chance to enjoy life. Get out there and do it. Get those dreams and goals off that someday shelf. Hopefully, this podcast is turning your can'ts into cans and your dreams into plans. That's my goal. That's why I've always done the work I've done. Some people say, "Why would you want to help me?" First of all, because I love you. Not in a relationship, just because I love you as a fellow traveler on this planet. I will do everything I can to help you. But you have to accept the help. And it doesn't mean I'll tell you how to live your life. We'll explore. That's what the path less traveled is all about, is not taking that one that everybody else takes or letting some coach tell you, oh, step 1, step 2, step 3 will get you to a millionaire. That's what happened to me. No, I've been a coach and I got all the certifications, but that ain't the way I do it. I want you to discover so you won't be dependent on me. But anyway, okay, so podcast number 5, and I am looking at another one, keys to effective communication, because we've been talking about that a lot and looking at compatibility. But it's communication for couples specifically. And this is just some examples in my research I've done so far. Be empathetic, some of the things we talked about today. Maintain clarity. If something is said that it is not clear, then clarify it and be willing to listen to the person and clarify. Sometimes they don't even know why they said, I do that. I'm not sure why I said it that way. Is that the way you took it? Because words spoken are not always received with the same intent or the same understanding. Continue listening. Some examples. Read the body language, very important. If somebody turns over if my spouse turns over all the time in bed, facing the other side, and never touches me or never holds me, I was there for 17 years. I ain't going back there again. I like touch. You don't have to hang on me all night, but don't turn away from me. I don't understand that. Be respectful. Yes, be respectful. I had an experience the other day that after we sat at the bar and in my home and just had a light breakfast, this individual got up, went to the sink, and washed the dishes. I was so impressed. We didn't have a lot of dishes and my dishwasher's broke, but I didn't have to say, would you wash the dishes? I was really impressed. And I told him, be respectful, be amicable. Amicable refers to a friendly and goodwill, a friendship and goodwill between people. It refers to a person's friendly disposition. You come home, that's like me going to Planet Fitness. Honey, I'm home. Oh my God. I have a writing partner out in Sioux Falls. We've co-authored one book and we're working on another one now. And he worked at the hotel where I was on assignment out there for 3 months, and he worked at the hotel where I was staying. So every night I would come in from work and I would say, because he was always on the night shift, and I would say, honey, I'm home. Everybody in the lobby would laugh but you know what? We developed a fabulous relationship, and I ended up mentoring him from a distance, and we're still good friends. And so we're writing another book together, or at least I'm making a contribution to his book, and there will be other co-authors, I'm sure. He hasn't said that. But you just never know what the opportunities are going to be by just loving each other, loving humans, being respectful, having fun. And the last one that we'll be talking about is general awareness of various mediums of communication. So there are all kinds. Text messages. I'm not fond of those forever and ever. Songs. I saw a guy on Facebook the other day. He wrote this song and he said, I wrote it for my wife. And oh my gosh, I sent him all kinds of hearts. Face to face, very important. And here's one of the things that I'm doing in these podcasts, love quotes. You can find love quotes and share those or make up one. I am so happy I found you along the way. Thank you for being my forever and ever friend. I have a lady in my life right now who I always tell her that. Thank you for always having my back and being my best friend. I love you, Janet. I love you. And my all-time favorite, those of you who know me, this is another media way of communication. And this is probably my very favorite is a hug with no words. Words get in the way. A hug brings the heart together. We don't have to say it. We feel it emotionally, mentally, physically, soul level. So I'm a real hugger. And I might hug somebody in the grocery store. Every hug's got a different intention with it. However, I don't want to miss a hug as I go through life. Just my way. Now, to wrap up this series 4 on the topic of compatibility in relationships, the law of attraction, naturally, please note that I am not saying that these sharings are answers. I only want to raise awareness because you will find your own answers and your own relationship answers. But I think if we become conscious in our living, we'll be more aware of who we are and who the other person is, or the people that we work with, or the people that we go to church with, or the people we meet in a grocery store. I was at the grocery store the other day and I couldn't find what I was looking for. And I said, "Have you seen this?" And she said, "No." Oh, I was looking for honey. She said, "Have you seen this?" And I said, "Have you seen this?" And she said, "No, but I'll look for it." She said, "If you see the pudding aisle, tell me." So I went to 2 aisles in and then I yelled, "It's on aisle 3." Everybody in that aisle started laughing because every time we go to the grocery store anymore, they've changed every aisle, the content. I think they do that so we'll shop and spend more. But anyway, the topic of relationships is really important to me, but it doesn't say that these are the answers. Find your own, just become aware. They do at least. They're not answers, but they do provide a variety of starting points. And that's really important because sometimes we don't even know where to start. I really like you, but I don't know where to start here. I'm attracted to you, but I can't figure out where and I don't know where to start. But anyway, they're not answers. The answers for your life are within you and your partner. The people that you interact with. It's time to close this podcast now. And as I've done in the last one, I want to repeat in this one. And I want to share 4 love quotes written by some of the greatest minds, writers, and philosophical thinkers that have ever lived. I'll tell you who they are. This is a way to wrap up this segment and honor those great contributors. And hopefully, these are in alignment with our topic today. Here's the first one. Find the person who will love you because of your differences and not in spite of them, and you have found a lover for life. Leo Buscaglia, American author, and I'm sure a lot of you have read his books, but I love him. I think he is, I just like his thinking. It's not detailed, it's encompassing. And that's what real love is about. That's what real soul living is about. Okay, the second one. What greater thing is there for 2 human souls that to feel that they are joined together to strengthen each other and not to be at one with each other in silent, unspeakable memories. Let me say that again. What greater thing is there for 2 human souls and to feel that they are joined to strengthen each other and to be at one with each other in silent, unspeakable memories. It doesn't have to be said. The silence says it all. That's what I like about a hug. It's a soul-to-soul connection for me. George Eliot, English novelist and poet. Okay, the third one. Two hearts in love need no words. Again, compatibility, once we understand it, then we understand the other person, and we don't need all these words of defense, these words of, oh, this is what I was thinking, this words of making somebody feel less than. We don't need the words. We hug. We pay attention. We give compliments. We send little surprise text messages. We bring you flowers. My brother and I used to pick violets in the field. My mother's name was Violet, and we would take her a little bouquet of violets. When I'm out walking now and I see violets, I take them home and put them in a little bud case, or budding case. I don't know what you call it, little bud case, vase. And hi, Mom, there's your flowers for today. I'm sure she hears. Okay, the last one. True love cannot be found where it does not exist, nor can be denied where it does exist. So true love cannot be found where it does not exist, nor can be denied where it does. And that's what I'm looking for, that there is no question. I love that man loves me, or I love that woman loves me. I love that child loves me. There is no denying, but the only way we experience that is to, number one, which we talked about, is to show it respectfully. Little things we do. That's what I'm beginning to notice. It's the simple things, not some big glamorous thing that somebody bought me and now they're real important in my life, because I think it was funny because I asked God questions, and then our communication vehicle is, I'm going to ask you a question, God. I'm lost. I need this answer. And give me an answer to my question. And it's usually a yes or no question. And I said, can our pact be that I find a coin after I've asked the question and I know that's you responding to the question I just asked? And it's a yes or no question. You cannot believe how that works for me. And I've shared this with many other people. I've got a big jar of pennies now. But I shared this with a friend of mine, that I pick up these pennies and I don't even know where they come from. Sometimes they're so rusty that, how did you see that, Patricia? I don't know. God puts my eyes down there. So anyway, I shared that with a friend, a couple of friends, and I said, I got to tell you this. You see this penny? I just picked this up outside. I was meeting them, and I said, I just picked this up outside the door. Some good things are going to happen. And one of them said to me, you pick up the pennies. I'm waiting for the $20 bills. That's not what it's about for me. Obviously, it is for others. But I want these little nudges like that, the things that make my heart sing, that are simple. Yeah, everybody has their own way. But I admire somebody that just takes a simple approach to understanding and being compatible with somebody else. It's just me. In closing, podcast 5 will cover, again, effective keys to effective communication for couples. Thanks for joining Hello Self Podcast today. I am your host, Patricia Leonard, and I hope you've had a great time. And I have. And I hope that you find that this week your relationships shift in a real positive way. And maybe you find yourself taking some kind of action that improves the relationships and helps somebody else feel love, because that's why we're here, is to help others, because we've got a world trying to wake up and they're scared to wake up and they don't know how. They've been asleep so long, they don't even know how to get out of bed. So anyway, I am here to make the world happy. And yes, do I have disappointments? Absolutely. Do I go through relationship challenges? I am right now. And yes, I know it's going to work out exactly the way it's supposed to for both of us. Yeah. And I can't choreograph it. I can't write the music to it. I simply have to let it play and listen to what it's saying to me and to the person that I'm involved with. So again, I'm just closing out as your Hello Self Podcast host, Patricia Leonard. And as I always say at the end of my podcast, keep dreaming. And I'm going to add this time, keep building healthy relationships, regardless if they're intimate ones or relationships at your work, in your family, or your community. God bless. Thank you for joining Hello Self today, and may it offer insights and inspire you to stay on your runway to success. Like, share, and subscribe. And remember this, keep dreaming.